I thought I should begin with a quote that I once read, which goes like this: there are three kinds of givers. Those that are like wood, those that are like a sponge, and those that are like a honeycomb. Those that are like wood, you will have to really hammer them down and shape them, and that's when they give. And those who are like sponge are the ones that you'll have to squeeze to get something out of them. And those that are like honeycomb, you just have to wait for them to overflow with their goodness uh, that they innately hold inside. I don't think it's a difficult question to answer what kind of givers are there in this group. And all those who are inspired to be in this group are those who are innately able to give and able to inspire others to give. So it's a pleasure to be in this group. And one such honeycomb is Satish. And I had a quick conversation with him this morning, and it was an absolute pleasure. One, because we connected at many levels, including Canada, but also because he is such an inspiring DoGAMer. And Anand, if we can have him on now, it would be a appropriate time.
Sure. Let me do that. Satish sir, if you could please go ahead and turn on your microphone and your, that will be great.
Now?
Yeah, awesome. Great, sir.
Okay.
You're looking amazing, fresh and Sunday evening. That's awesome. Yes.
No makeup.
I didn't hear that, Anand.
Oh, no, I was just saying that Satish sir is looking like super fresh for 7 p.m.
Is that reserved only for Satish?
I wanted to say that for Kesar and you
Okay.
as well. I mean, you guys are all like, and that's it. I have my webcam turned off. I just got back from a drive from Coorg and I've just, so I don't want, but yes, Satish sir, we're all ears and looking forward to hearing.
Thank you.
So yeah, before I ask you, I need to introduce you, and I wanted everyone to have a look before I told them the reputation that precedes you. So Satish is, what one would call a well-played professional. He comes from a manufacturing background, has worked in Bosch for over 23 years. So he's really a veteran, and then moved on to follow his passion, which is to teach and to touch the lives of people. So his day job is training. He works as a consultant with various firms, has done some kick-ass training in the manufacturing processes, has 45 modules which he has developed, which is used widely across the industry. But what really stood out, of course, for me is how for over 30 years he has been DoGAMing. He's been involved in social initiatives and social upliftment. One of the projects that he's deeply inspired by and deeply passionate about is Subramanya Trust, which is a temple, which also has multiple social initiatives that are run. He's a founder and trust member, has been the treasurer for over 30 years, which is quite record-breaking, really. So, and that is what intrigued me. And I really, for someone who's been a full-timer in the industry, what intrigued me is his ability to stay on for such a long time, doing the work and bringing on new initiatives at the temple. But I wanted to start off from the beginning, like a good storyteller would. I want you to tell me, what is it that inspired you to do and participate and contribute to the society. How did it all begin? What was your earliest experience which made you do something good and begin this journey of goodness?
Okay. Thank you, Aparna. See, I was staying in Koramangala at that time. I was
Mm,
about 27 years old, and we started a sports association for us to play weekend, and we were used to meet. And some of the local audience used to always tell us, saying that this place is very serene and there is some trees there. Okay, that place is the right place to start a temple. And then it started in a very small way. What what drove me to get into this activity was, I was always feeling that whatever I am doing is somebody is paying me, but I should do something where I will not expect something in back. So that was the starting point of this association. Then later, when we decided to construct a temple, and it was started with a Subramanya temple, because the local story says there was a snake around that tree, which is linked to the Subramanya temple, and I have personally seen that snake.
ah, I see.
That was all the more inspiring me. Started believing that there is the right place to do something, and we started with a temple. Now, if you look at, if I look after 30 years, that we have a meditation hall, we have a prayer hall, we have the adjacent place, and now it's a full-fledged, very big establishment on its own. That's how it started.
That's
Okay,
a
and
really,
when
really
we start,
great
sorry,
story. And I must tell you, he also told me how he initially raised funds. He came with with meager funds, but they needed more funds to really start something. So everybody was given a bunch of tickets, like raffle tickets, and one ticket was 5 rupees. And he went person to person. And that's how he's become. He's worked in the manufacturing industry. I'm quite sure of that. The early training happened probably when he was 27 years old, where he sold raffle tickets for 5 rupees each, so that
yeah,
he may be able to build the temple. So I think really what stands out for me is, if you're setting out to do something good, the universe will conspire to make it happen for you. And at 27, if somebody has gone out doing something like this, when most of us are caught up in our careers, caught up in our personal lives, uh, if you have if you have an intention to do good at that time, then you will probably come as far as Satish has come. Now probably in his 50s. So it's wonderful, wonderful to hear that beginning story. But tell me, now that you have done this whole, and it's an established unit, there are probably many initiatives you've undertaken. Can you tell us, and I'm very interested to know, a temple at one end of it, it is a religious body, but let's go beyond that and see what is it that you have helped, and how have you helped somebody, how have you been able to transform somebody's life? If you can tell us something
okay,
that has happened that will inspire us to also take forward something that we are passionate about, so that we can transform lives.
okay. See, when we started that trust, a group of people, about seven, four, six, five, six people, and later a few more came, about 10 people in place. And we knew that we didn't want to end up only this as a place for religious function, but we wanted to be a center for some social work there. But we had to set our ground rules very clearly. And in fact, I was very particular at that time. Few ground rules were laid down, which is followed even today. Number one is, nowhere in our publication we reveal our name.
Mm.
Nobody knows even after 30 years who is the treasurer.
I see.
Ah, nobody will know. Okay, there will be a number, would not know. Number one. And because we, in any function, we will not claim that he is the treasurer, he is the managing trustee and other thing, because we don't want somebody to see us as some, because today everybody looks at it as a position there. Second, for any of our meetings, or for any of our gatherings, we don't spend any money from the trust for the purpose of attending the meeting, for coffee or tea, or even for any travel related to the trust work. Okay, it is only he has to bear on his own, because we wanted to inculcate among the trustees an element of an element of giving. Element of giving. See, for example, now today when meeting happens, one of us will host. So it comes to everybody. And suppose we travel to meet somebody outside, bringing some guest, bringing some function, functions will go regularly, very regularly happens. And we do conduct many functions, and all, whatever the money spent by the trust is not reimbursed. So that's what he is giving also, one, he is getting attached. And this is how we bring that. Sorry?
That is really wonderful, yes.
And then we said every year out of in the 2-3 occasions, we help the local school there. Okay, giving them the forum, we have given them the furniture, we have given some people free lessons. We built a hall, and for anybody doing for a social work, it is given free. When given free for anything, it is not. Even for others, for if he is using for his personal or something, it is charged very nominally. But for anyone, if somebody wants to conduct a yoga, wants to conduct a lesson, wants to help somebody, run a campaign, everything is for a social purpose. If they are not earning money, he will not ask them money. This is the rule, what we made that. And still today, a lot of things are happening there. So this is one benefit the local people try to got out of that. And also because when we linked our temple as a place also for a social work, a lot of people came and helped us on that, saying that, they don't spend money only for the temple, they also bringing a lot of people. And last year, in the last 10 roads, we called all the women of BBMP who cleaned that place, the 6th block, about 50 of them. And, we gave them the sari, we gave them, the recognition for the work they have done in keeping the place clean. So it was so, amazing to see them help. So we are using that as a center. And second, we are also using that, to develop the next level of people who are going to take over. So we involve them right at the beginning in this one. So see, what I have seen is people who are working for a social organization, and one of the skill required, because nobody will respect you unless you are ability to influence somebody. So it's a very, very difficult job. See, for example, if I worked in a corporate, I was the head of international purchase. People used to respect me for that position. Somebody considered me that's his boss. Here, nothing is there. I'm just like a worker like anybody else. But still, if I am able to social, and they don't get any benefit out of that coming here. So this was the challenge, and this is how the lessons which we could incorporate, which we can give it to the next generation and the people around, for the youth around, which also help them as an individual. So this is how still this work of, and we involve them in cleaning. They have to clean the temple. They have to do some of the manufacturing concepts of housekeeping 5S are already implemented in the temple.
Wonderful. So you're cross-learning from your wonderful. I think what stood out for me really is how you've removed the I from the whole equation of of the good that you do. The moment you remove the ego from it and say that it's not me, it's not I am not the treasurer, I am not supporting you. The moment you remove the I, great things happen. I think even if we were to just remove the I from I am a DoGAMer, magic can happen. And I think that is really where it all begins. And I think that's so wonderfully said. Very often we get caught up in how much am I doing, how much am I making a difference, and so on and so forth. Really, at the end of the day, if you did it without your ego, the kind of transformation that you can bring is immeasurable. Yeah. So thank you for bringing that. However, at the end of it, I know, and we all experience how we itself, doing all the things that we do, we are involved in. there is a sense of upliftment that we ourselves feel. We learn every day, we grow every day. The more we give, in fact, DoGamers is all about how we can achieve more by just doing, So my question to you, and let's, kind of conclude with that. I'd like you to share with the audience about how exactly you feel you have grown as an individual. What is it that you have learned, and what is you know, your gift that you have received from all the good that you have given?
See, one thing, whatever we give, it will return back with maybe additional interest or additional this one. This is what I have seen wherever we have done, wherever we have helped people, where we have encouraged people. For example, by associating with this trust in formative years of the trust, like, for example, now at the very beginning, because that was the almost a very start of my career. Okay. So I could able to get for myself how to manage the accounts, how to value the public money.
Oh, yes.
How important is this? How I am accountable even for 1 rupee I collect. Somebody will ask.
You should make all politicians do one roll of treasury in your trust.
But
Maybe they learn how to keep accounts.
We made another rule not to call any politicians. This is another rule we included that. See, number one is how to respect the public money. How to, still even today, there's not even a single rupee, people don't make any complaint saying that this has been misused or, one. So because of that, people are able to give more. They're able to get that more. So we learned this very at the beginning, and also improve my some of the speeches. I used to speak every occasion there in Canada, in every function, at least 2 to 3 times in a year. At whether people like or not, there will be some my speech on spirituality and temple or social work or something will be there. So there is an opportunity which I individually has got that. And third is, as a treasurer, I also understand the nitty-gritties of the finance, to manage the finance of the temple, how to bring a structure for that. And these are all some of the individual benefits I got personally. And also, and in general, wherever I have helped in the industry and here, I strongly believed, wherever you help with something in giving, and 2 times will come back to you directly or indirectly. Somebody will remember us. Somebody will even tell us. In fact, I use this. The committee, insisted me to release my first book in the temple. They insisted.
Oh, I see.
I could get a lot of people who knew and who that. So this is another small thing which we didn't expect anything in return, but many things came back, and there has been constant learning in that.
Yes, okay. Yes. Thank you so much. So like you very wisely said, what goes around will come around, and what you give will come back to you. We don't know whether it'll come back in the same size and shape and the time.
It will.
But it will come back. Yeah. So, and more importantly, like you said, there are lateral benefits, collateral skills that we build. I love them. I can tell you that, when I started to work with children of the underprivileged, and I was doing stories for them. At that time, stories, as far as I was concerned, was for entertainment, and I told them to entertain. But the way they responded and the kind of cognitive level that they engaged with made me wonder about what is really the cognitive value that a story can bring. And that led me to work with the university, work actually at a technical level in terms of storytelling and its benefits. And it got me onto a journey which was quite uncharted, and something which is which is really the beginning of where I stand today. So and all because I told a few stories to a few bunch of children who
Aparna, I'm sorry to intervene. You'll have to wind up. The time is we are going over the limit of the time.
Okay.
Thank you. So yes, so I think it's really wonderful that you've gained as much as you've given. So on that note, thank you, Satish. It's been wonderful talking to you, and thank you, Kesar, for the reminder. think that I should end on a story, but let's see if we have the time for me to tell a story. And
Sure,
maybe
sure, sure. Go ahead. Would love to hear it.
oh, okay, fine. Then I'll take 2 minutes. Most Zen stories are 2 minutes, and this is a Persian. This is a Sufi story. This is a Nazruddin Hodja story. I just, I remembered it when I heard Ish's part. Nazruddin Hodja, who is the um, um, Islamic teacher, is once going on a trip with his village people to another village. And they're all riding donkeys and they're going, right? So he has to cross a hill to go to the other village. So they're going up and the donkeys are struggling because they're sitting, the people are sitting on the donkeys. They're also carrying the load. So the donkeys are, struggling up the hill, and at a place where they have to rest for the night, they stop, and Hodja immediately notices that his donkey is sweating, perspiring. So he gets off and he's whispering something into his donkey's ears. And all the other villagers are looking at him and saying, what is this guy doing? I mean, he's talking to his donkey. He should be talking to us. He should be sitting and telling us, giving us lessons. What is he doing? So as soon as he, comes towards them, they ask, what are you doing? You're talking to your donkey. So he says, yes. In fact, I was just apologizing to my donkey that it has been a difficult trip and an effort-intensive trip for him. And I also told my donkey that it's all going to get over soon because we're going to reach the morning, and now it's only downhill from here. So I reassured him that he'll be fine. And everybody bursts out laughing, saying, are you mad? How is this donkey going to ever understand what you're saying? To which Hodja says, no matter if my donkey cannot understand, I am doing what is expected of me as a human being. And I will continue to do that, irrespective of what he understands or not. And what you said to me, Satish, just reminds me that if we all did what is expected of us as human beings, the world will certainly be a better place to live in. So thank you so much for sharing what you've shared with us.
Aparna, thank you everybody for listening to me. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. There are lots of people listening to you, and lots more will listen once this is broadcast. So thank you, and Kesar, over to you. Thank you, and sorry for overstepping on time.